Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Rhovanion campaign. Here we have wrapped up the battle, the Siege of Rhovanion. This is the northern settlement in Rune, and we just assaulted it, and here you can see the results. We have taken 33 losses, or the enemy has killed 33 of us, and here we are pursuing the last remaining men towards the settlement there. A very straightforward fight, and so of course we just kind of skipped over that. This is our turn, so we get the settlement, we get to decide what to do with it, and then we get to decide what we're going to do next. Over in the perhaps more important theater right now, because this Rhovanion here, you can see we don't have a lot of men, and the population is pretty unhappy with us. I think we're going to, let's see, where do we have governors? If we expel, we get 3,000 men spread out, let's see, Nerigzigil, Yathin Ra, Rhovanion. We don't have anyone here, or here, or here, but we do have a governor in Dale, and we do have governors in Hjorth. Let's do that. We can use the population elsewhere, and this is actually going to be very, very hard to keep. Let's see, part of that is because we're dealing with alignment problems. These are ways of darkness, and this guy is a patron of the West, and so he is causing some unrest. The faction leader is a follower of the Shadow, actually, so that's also going to hurt. Again, the official alignment of this settlement is not ways of the Shadow cult or ways of the West, but ways of darkness. So in any case, that accounts for 15%, but we've got really a long ways to go before this becomes remotely reasonable to hold. At least with an army this size. We do have 55% public order coming from the garrison size, which is not bad. The maximum this number can be is 80. So, you know, let's see, we could get that up another, what, 35? But that would still get us only to 60. Or 70. Well, actually, maybe that would work. In any case, this is going to be tough to hold. We could look at moving the capital around, and maybe that's something we can do because we don't have bad public order anywhere, really. We do have our capital in Arab Gobel. We could bring it down here, although Nerigzigil is unhappy again because we got one of those spies. So, geez, I'm thinking we may not be able to hold this. I'm definitely not going to give this to North Rune, though. I think, if anything, I would prefer this to just rebel and, you know, go to the regular rebels. Let's see. We're not going to benefit from this execution square. We may as well get rid of that. The Hall of Drinking is something that is giving public order. Horse breeders are fine. Herbalist is giving some public health bonuses. And, you know, the brawling contests are also helping us in a way. Nice thing about Rhovanion is it starts with a harbor, so that's giving us get some trade, as you can see. We're trading with, let's see, I guess that's Nerigzigil. Yeah, going right over here. So I want to keep this settlement ultimately, but I'm not sure that I can. Let's, though, since we've got bad public order in Nerigzigil anyway, let's see what happens if we move the capital here. Looking at our income, we're making 15,172. And if we move the capital over here, the public order jumps up to 100% there. Over here, it gets 65, which is, geez, really close. And we lose about 3,000 or so, which is not bad. I mean, we're making well over that anyway. Let's just look at the other public order situations. Okay, Yodor doesn't like us now, and that's at 60. Well, can we train anything here? No, we didn't. Didn't get around to building, and so that's when you really, these control posts, I'm always hesitant to start military building in some ways in this mod because it does have a cost associated with it. We've got a minus 14 land tax revenue modifier, and that's not just 14 gold or something. That is that's a certain amount. But let's see. If we queue this up, well, it won't show. That's right, because it's just a little weird how it works. For some reason, this works a little differently. But if we queue up another building which has a land tax cost associated with it here. That's going to cost us, 80 or so Mirian a turn. And this, this is going to not only cost us money to build, it's going to cost us some upkeep as well. So I'm a little hesitant to build these in places where I don't plan on really cranking out military. Of course, the problem is sometimes you need a garrison force, and sometimes you can get a lot of mileage out of that by just queuing up a bunch of like low tier stuff. Like if we really want to see the public order jump up, we can just do this, right? And see, look at those numbers. So speaking of which, we do have our first slightly more interesting unit available in Nerig Zagil, and that is these Hillman Axe Levies. Very threatening looking dudes here, with a missile attack as well as a melee attack and some defense. So 12, 16, and 18 in terms of their stats. Let's compare that. Much better attack, only a little lower defense than our Rhovanion spearmen, but that missile attack is really, really nice. Let's see, in terms of our skirmishers, that's only a 13 missile attack, but those axemen have a missile attack of, 16? So, yeah, I think the range is a lot lower, 36 yards for them as opposed to the foresters, which is 60. So, lower range, but that's a really nice punch they have. So, what to do about Raycoast? Well, if I take this guy out, I mean, that's going to solve the problem, isn't it? Actually, no. He's actually bringing in a bit of public order, more than enough to counteract the... Oh, actually, no, that is worse. Okay, odd. Sometimes this happens. You bring someone out, move them back in, and it's not exactly the same as it was. A little Rome Total War quirk. But in any case, what to do with this? I really wasn't anticipating the public order to be this bad. I guess I should have imagined that that could be the case. Okay, so we're just going to deny this to Rune, I think. What I'll do is I'll take these guys out. I'm not going to bother trying to hold it. We'll just move out of here. We'll get it back later. This army has already done its work. And let's see if we can get somewhere that's going to prevent them from taking it back. See if there's any mercenaries, and there are not. And I'm a little afraid that that Tham is going to sally out and hit us with the big army here. But I guess we'll have to just handle that. Let's move our capital back. Actually, we could try the capital here at Yathan Ra. 13,432. I guess we may as well do this. This is where the money is. Yeah, 15,182. The better public order is up here. I think I will go ahead and queue up the control post just so we can make use of garrison guys if we need to. We'll keep moving the reinforcements down. Okay. So, in terms of other stuff this turn, we do really want to take care of this. Let me just double check Nerig Zagil here. Why don't we go ahead and queue up a unit of Hillman Axe Levies just because they're cool. We are building the consultation, then we'll go military policy, and then we'll be able to build that tier 3. But down here we do have a choice because we have some men we can bring in. We've got some cavalry we can add to the force here, and we can attack this host. A couple of spears, couple of axes, couple of warband, and that would be pretty evenly matched. I don't think I'm crazy about the terrain here, though, because they look like they may be close enough to the woods to get some cover, and that could just be annoying. So I'm thinking we need to go either for Breg Estelad itself, or perhaps try to hit this guy, Gan of Fennis Rim. Now, if we hit him, he may withdraw to the settlement, and then that would be annoying. So I'm thinking maybe the thing is we take the settlement. They won't be able to avoid that. I'm going to bring the cavalry down here. We'll go right here. Besiege. We'll assault. We get reinforcements, but they don't. And inside, it's spearmen and foresters. Let's go ahead and fight this. Now, after we take this settlement, we can go and attack the army that's just to the north of it, because then at least they won't be retreating back into the city. They may be more inclined to stand and fight with us. And then we can deal with them. Okay, and once again, we've got our general of Rhovanion spearmen. We've still got a fair number of these March Wardens, which is going to be good. Here's the general. Here's the other spears. And this is all just ranged stuff. So we've got archers we can put first, and then we've got Rhovanion foresters. Let's be ready to run these guys forward. Yeah, Spearmen of Rune.
This is hopeful news indeed.
Let's see if we can shoot them. But a really rather difficult unit, as we've seen. I really don't want to engage them from the back, but I want them to slow down so I can shoot them a bit. And we did get one volley in, but that's not enough to... oh, it is. It is enough to pause them. Okay, then. Turn around, turn around. We've got our foresters coming in. They're close enough to throw spears, which is what we want. Great. And you know, you skirmishers, you can even... Well, no, why don't you skirmish away? We'll try to pull them out more into the open. And then we can hit them from a couple of different sides with our cav, assuming they do that. We're going to run into some pathfinding problems here as they try to get us. Alright, though, that's good. That's good. They're out of the city. Great. This is the enemy captain. All right, and you guys can actually come up here now. They're wavering. There they go. Great. Just foresters in the town plaza. Should be able to pull them out and get some cavalry close enough to kind of charge in, and that'll force their hand a bit. The other option we could have here, apart from leaving and taking on the army that's outside, is we could just sit tight in the city, and we could see what they decide to do. They're actually going to let us take the plaza like that. Interesting. Well, they're going to try to get a few throws in. Alright, there they go. So end the battle there. We took about 50 plus losses. So we could just hang out with this army and try to hold the city. But I think it's better to fight in the field. So that's what we'll do. We'll do another fight here. But we have to be careful about movement points, actually. We will occupy this one. So yeah, we are going to have to watch public order, because now all of a sudden we've got like 3... Well, we've got 2 new settlements that don't have any dominion. Actually, no, this one does. We didn't destroy it. Maybe we should. I think we should. Let's do that. Yes, it's going to hurt public order, but not too badly. We will keep the brawling contests, I think. Or should we destroy them? Yeah, let's destroy them. Let's make life a little bit harder for Rune if and when they take that back. If we take it back, we can build our own stuff. Okay. So now we have Breg Estelad. Now, how many movement points do we have in this army? Okay, we've got enough to go attack, but I don't know if we have enough to get back. All right. Let's take all of the infantry and leave them here. Okay. And let's do this now. I think we should be okay. We got 1 cav, 2 axes, 2 levies, and a general. I think they'll take this fight because it just looks so in their favor. They outnumber us like almost 2 to 1. Get rid of them, then go back in the city. Then that other army that's standing off to the right suddenly, you know, doesn't look like it can threaten us too badly. Oh, now we've got a different general here. We've got a Rhovanion rider mercenary general instead of the spearman. Okay. So yeah, as usual, I like to keep... Okay, they're actually right there. This is kind of nice. We've got the kind of strike force here. Okay, let's go with that. We are attacking, and they're probably going to be at the top of this hill. Move over here, and we do have reinforcements coming. Oh, they're not actually.
Reinforcements have arrived. This is hopeful news indeed.
All right, we can afford to maybe slow down then. But if they're going to peel off their general like that, then I think we have to take advantage of it. Okay, yep, they're moving in. You know what? Let's take them all out simultaneously. Broken. We're going to get hit with some javelins over here, both from the Chieftain's Guard and from these guys. Banning Forester levies copies of our unit. They're just going to stand there and throw stuff at us. But I think we'll have the general dead by then. Down to 1 man. There he goes, down under a bunch of spears. Alright, this is we're deployed downhill, which is not great. They're not really trying to run away from us either, which is a little disappointing for me. But there they go. They are a tier 1 unit in the end. Let's keep going with that. Yep, that's enough to get them routed. And then it's just axemen. These are March Wardens and Light Cav, the remaining scouts. losing slightly. Not as good as I wanted this to be. They're wavering, though. These guys are broken already, oddly enough. I guess that was just a much better charge. And I'm surprised they're not breaking. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's taken care of. And, you know, we lost a bunch of cav. But good thing about losing cav here is that we are close to reinforcements. Relatively speaking, we got a couple more units of the scouts coming already. And we can just train more. We can funnel some of these guys back to the other cities and should be fine. Heroic victory. Yes, yes. Very good stuff. So let's look at the units that are left on the campaign map from this battle. The ones that have the fewest men, and get them back for retraining, if that looks feasible. Okay, you can definitely go into the settlement here. Okay, this is not too bad. Low taxes, there we go. They had built control posts. Population here is really good. 2,000. I mean, that's surprisingly good. Groves of the Shadow, interesting. We're going to get rid of that. All right. Yeah, now 6, I think we'll send you back. You can go right back to the capital there. Jeez, and I think we want everybody else. What we'll do, though, is, you know, we've got some more of these guys coming down, including a family member. So we can just hold on a few more turns. Then we should be doing better. Okay, now we're on low taxes in Nerigzagil. And I'm a little wary of destroying this right now. Just because of public order in Nerigzagil. But, you know, in Nerigzagil, we can train stuff. So this is going to go down to 65, and we'll train another unit. How about that? Yeah, 70. There we go. So we just keep these guys coming for a little while. I think we will risk the provincial pacification, get that going as soon as we can. We do want to hold this, of course. And what do we do here? It says we're making 19,000 this turn. So, you know, we did a lot of destruction. Let's, you know, I guess we could go for major province or roads. Roads are rather important, actually, for Rhovanion, because we've got this very broad territory. And as you know, we need to keep getting reinforcements back and forth. So that might be decent. Let's see what that's going to cost us. It's going to make us a little bit of trade, about 40. It's going to cost us, you know, about 100. Or 80. Wait. 1380 minus is like 120. So it's going to cost us like around 100 or 80 or so when we consider that we are making a bit of trade here. But is that worth it? When we could be making more money. We could get a scout out of here. I think that would be nice. Let's go for this. That's just going to make us that 40 or so. Give us more population growth yet again. Let's go with one more scout here. And do we want to send anybody east right yet? You know, I think I will, because we do have Rohan over here looking a little vulnerable. So let's take 2 scouts. Let's take 2 bowmen. Let's take an axe unit. And that's, you know, pretty decent. So we've got scouts. We'll just kind of replenish those guys over the next few turns. We've got another scout to bring down here. And let's go for another one. Yeah, let's go for some more barding watch levies. We are building up here, and in Hjorth, I guess we can go for carpenters. That is going to save us some money. Okay, otherwise, I think we're good. We moved our armies. We moved our agents. The thing remains to be seen is if we're going to be attacked north of Tham, and what this army is going to do outside of Bregestelad. But actually, let's just take a look over here. I think we moved all of these guys. All right, end season. We are attacked, and it's a night attack. 2 armies. It's a night attack, which is total BS because a captain cannot initiate that when it's you. But when it's the AI, oh yeah, we'll make all sorts of exceptions. Okay, it looks like actually someone got back to Raycoast and took it. So they had some army that was close enough to sneak in there, or maybe it was a rebellion. It went back to the original owner. In any case, do we want to stand here and fight this, or do we want to withdraw? I think we can fight it. We get enough skirmishers, slingers, that type of thing. Yeah, night battle. All right, slingers out front as usual. We'll set up over here, where you get a bit of a hill. So the big army's attacking us. The reinforcements are the general with like another unit or something like that. Okay, here's my general and March Warden's escort. And then we've got our 3 other units of cav. So this is really getting down to the nub here. Okay, shoot. We were close enough to start shooting at them. But I think this is fine. Alright, so Spearmen of Rune. Their general is an Axeman unit. They get some archers. But just 1 spear unit. So I'll take these guys around the long way. We'll hit the archers. They're being pretty aggressive. Just warband, some spearmen, some axes. Those archers are being very quick. The spearmen are hanging back, which is nice. Alright, let's hit the axemen. And hit the axemen. Their archers are now broken. We can bring up our light cav. These guys are wavering. Spearmen are charging in, but they're going to get hit by our own spears. Okay, these guys are broken. Great. Let's get set up on this side. Actually, we can hit them in the back. Oh, shoot. The warband hit. Okay. That warband's going to do some damage to us. They're winning. We're going to lose another cav. We had 7 and 7 in these mercenary units. 6 and 6 now. Okay, there they go. Charging uphill at these Spearmen of Rune, and we'll see how this goes. They are steady. Winning easily. Bodyguards just now charging in. 60 men. And I think my spearmen are gone. This is probably a fight that I should pull my general out of. the axemen. Spearmen are losing and wavering now. We're taking losses. There they go. Those reinforcements have not really come over. So they may not attack us. All right, let's get over here. We'll take out the captain at least. I think they're going to withdraw. There's the enemy general. Take him down with a javelin, and I think everyone else is leaving. All right, I'll take it. It may be time to move back west with this army. We're buying time. I mean, I guess, you know, the problem is, of course, that if we just leave and Rune takes all of this stuff back... Oh, wow. We're under siege by Dale. It's been a little while. Okay, we're going to deny trade from Rohan. Okay. And now we do have movement points with our scout again. Let's bring him over here to see what's going on. Yeah, Dunfrecka is completely... completely owned by Dunland, and I do want to see this settlement over here. Oh, I can't quite see it. But Dunland also owns this. Now the question is, are they under siege by the Reunited Kingdom? Or is there any Reunited Kingdom like down here causing this devastation? Or is this indeed Dunland moving into Gondor? Which would be really, really interesting to see. Okay, we've got some news. We have Eodor under siege by Dale. Now this is from the fort over here. And they've probably built this up to the point where they can train some extremely basic militia levy types. I have some extremely basic militia levy types here. It's going to be Rhovanion Spearmen versus Barding Militia. Now, we outnumber them. I think they can have 80 or maybe 90 men per unit. We've got 100. I do want to bring some of my own guys up to reinforce, so I'm really glad I trained that extra unit last turn of Barding Watch levies. Between those two... As long as there's not a larger army over here, we're going to be just fine. So that's all good. We'll continue to bring our scout over here. And North Rune is really persisting in attacking Rhovanion. Let's just see if there's any sieges underway here. Nope. All right, everything is the same. So it looks like North Rune is going to try to take this next. And otherwise, they're just holding out. But yeah, let's see what they have in here. Oh, it's a completely empty garrison. So maybe that was bribery. I think I would have gotten a message, though. But it's really odd that there's a settlement with absolutely no garrison. So I'm wondering what exactly happened there. A rebellion would have left some units. Like they would have had some kind of peasant type. So I don't know what's going on there. Let's hit this army and see if they do anything. Okay, nope. Gotta move back. All right. I'm really disappointed by the lack of mercenaries over here. They're bringing up more armies from the south.
Yes, master.
And they've got another army over here. Well, if there's no garrison, then I guess we can just take it right back, right? Yeah, that really looks like a bribery. All right, let's lay desolate this time. Bring it down to low, which is 60%. All right, so we got them. So we took the settlement. Then they bribed it back, I believe, and which that cost them, a good amount of money. And then we just walked back in next turn anyway. So hey, great. This is certainly a strategic problem for them. I don't know if we can keep it, but it's a strategic problem. Now, in order to keep it, where's my capital? Arab Gobel. I think we're going to have to move capitals, and maybe if I lose Bern, I lose Bern. Bern is now or Eodor rather. This is honestly no longer a big concern to me, because it's protected in a sense. You've got the dwarves to the north, you've got me to the west and south, you've got Dale to the east, and then my ally on the other side of the river. If this rebels, I can pretty much take this back at my leisure, at least I think. So really not too concerned about that in terms of public order. Let's move my capital over here to Yathin-Ra and just see how that looks. So they're not happy. That's at 60%, and this is now golden. All right, and actually, we could build the Outland Dominion here because they already built this provincial pacification for me in the last season. I'm going to do it. This is bringing a bit of a problem to my attention, though, and that is we have a very, very far-flung kingdom at this point. We've got land all the way from the northern Mirkwood region, right over here, the North Eves, all the way over to the very edge of the map in Raycoast. And so this is going to be difficult. It's going to be a little unruly. What would make it easier would be capturing some of this territory here in the middle. We're also going to get the advantage of building some of the Dominion buildings here in Bray Gestalad. Once that's done, that'll be very nice. Here's our military policy, just so I don't forget that. We'll have to tinker with capital location and stuff, but it's going to be quite a mix of things to keep this to keep juggling basically the public order issues. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. But look at our reinforcements coming. We took Bray Gestalad. The army is moving away now. They're not even trying to contest it, which is just wonderful news. We can bring our scouts over, I think, and see what we're looking at in the east. And I'm feeling pretty good about this, to be honest. We've got some armies that are moving north. They may be doing some stuff up here to bring some units down eventually. But if we can just wait, if we can just pop out every now and then, look for mercenaries, get some cavalry together and send them like straight over, I guess. Just keep up the reinforcements, keep the push to the east. Then we could be in a really nice position. Let me just consolidate this stuff. We've got some more scouts coming like we always do. Just move these guys down, and then we'll take one quick look, and we do have some mercenaries here. I'll pick those up. We'll take one last look at the scouts over in the east because we have, or over towards Athelion rather, because we do have one who has yet to move. And we can start to look, and it looks like the Reunited Kingdom has, well, I guess they've kind of held their own. They have moved a little bit. They've taken Minas Ithil, but that is under siege currently. Let's get down right about here. We can't see it because it's under siege on, from an army over here. But they've got some decent armies, including some Lasarnic Axemen and Knights of Dol Amroth. Good stuff. But very interestingly, we've got Harondor moving up into South Athelion. So this is no longer just a two-faction game. We've got Haradrim in the theater here, which is going to keep things potentially difficult for these Dunedainic factions as they try to figure out who's going to be in charge. And Norian, interestingly, is ruled by Rohan. So they did move down into here, but they've been stymied by Dunland in pretty much every other part of the map. Edoras is under siege, and they've lost these settlements, of course. So when we return, we're going to be moving our troops into the east, as many as we can spare, probably under this guy, and we're going to help to try to relieve Bane of Rhovanost, who is holding out in his newly acquired stronghold of Raycoast. We're going to try to keep that under the thumb and try to defend it against the attempts of Rune, the Easterlings, to retake it. Along the way, we're going to threaten Erebus. We're going to see if we can take that, and then we're going to move over to take Tham. And then when we get there, we'll be sitting rather pretty, I think. Let's take a look at number of provinces. We've got 11. We need to get 30. So we still got a very long road, folks. We'll see how things shake out. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I hope you'll stick around to the next one. Until then, take care.